John Edwards from MaryvilleSaints.com alongside head soccer coach David Korn. And coach, a successful run for your team over the last couple of weeks, 4 consecutive shutouts, but not from your starting goalie, Liam Walraven, but you're getting him from Nick Heeman, who's done a tremendous job over the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's done great. I mean, his development over the last 3 years has been tremendous. His first year he came in and learned a lot from some of our older, more experienced keepers. Last year, his second year, we saw a big jump in his performance and play within the team, and even as he got into some more of our 11v11 action. And I think, to be honest, him and Liam have really competed well throughout the course of this fall, and we needed Nick to step in, and he's done a great job.
He's not only by himself back there, but he's getting tremendous help from his back players. And it kind of like your team works together well in concert, because it seems like if everything in the back is flowing, it kind of works all the way out to the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something important we've looked at, not only this year, but in years past. I mean, I think the best teams, within any league, any tournament, often are the teams that are conceding the least amount of goals. So that's an important starting point is defensively. And I think it's an area the team has improved in from the beginning of the season in terms of the chances we were giving up, in terms of some of the goals we were conceding. And so it's been good to see the growth from a defensive standpoint. Our goalkeepers have been a big part of that. But you're right, our back four, and we've played a lot of guys in that position. And I think our defenders have done a really good job of organizing plays, not conceding as many shots on goal. And even our midfielders and our forwards and wingers help with our press to make sure a lot of those situations are turned over higher up the field. And we're going to continue to play really good attacking teams as well as this weekend. So our defensive work as an entire group is going to be important. And, that's something we want to do is continue to put ourselves in a position to keep clean sheets and give ourselves the best chance to win games.
Last time we talked, I talked to you about Cameron Caldwell and what he's been doing for the back end. You've had Dom back there forever. He's been a mainstay for you for a long time, and it seems like half of that back four for you has been pretty solid. But like you said, you've had to rotate some players in. Alberto Di Pieri has played some significant minutes for you. Fabian Weddle, who played some significant minutes for you last year, healthy this year. Talk about their play and their contributions.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, when you talk about a season, there's a variety of things that go on. We've had one player miss for school obligations because of what he's trying to do to be a PT student. We've had times where a player is sick or we've had an injury. So it's important. We want to have enough depth in those positions that, we can move things around. We've played in the back three, we've played in the back four. Guys have moved around those spots, and Fabi's been a big part of it. He's played as a right center back. He's played as a right back. He offers us not only a good defender, 1v1, and someone who's intelligent with his positioning, but he offers us something going forward and helping in our attack. And you're right. I think Alberto, he adjusted to his first season in college soccer, and his performances have grown and grown. I thought he had his best defensive game in our last game, and is his confidence in terms of playing with the group and the speed of play and the tempo of college soccer has grown. I mean, he's got a really tremendous potential and brings a lot of experience from his international experience and both the national team settings as well as club teams, and that's good. I mean, we need that kind of maturity and experience, and blending that with guys that have been with the team for a long time, the Andrews, the Camerons, the Doms, and as well as getting some more defenders healthy, Carl, Stian, and Marcus. I mean, I think we've got a lot of depth there, and even a player, Nathan Murillo, who's in his second season and has done really well coming in at that right back.
Up front, you've been getting some minutes from your freshmen who've spelled some of your upperclassmen. Bryce Dickerson stands out to me. Very tall player, but deceptive speed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Bryce has some well-rounded athletic attributes, and it helps that he played. He played basketball a lot in addition to soccer. So I think he's very good with his body. He's good when players are tight to him. He can play with his back to goal. He can play side on. He can beat players when they're faced up 1v1. So I think he offers us a lot. Not only to be able to build and get into areas high up the field, but he's a guy that can chip in with assists and goals, and he's quite good in the air with his head as well. So we're excited about his performances, despite only being in his first season. And, I think him, in addition to like even a Jimmy Doherty, who's been a really good target forward and stretched the game for us. I think as freshmen, those two have come in and played in some really critical moments, starting games, coming into games, finding critical goals. So I think it's great to see their confidence. They've made it hard, to ignore them, and hard to pick who's going to start a game, who's going to come into a game, and that's a good position to be in as a coach.
With players playing as many roles that they've had to play over the last couple of years, filling in for injuries and classwork, whatever, how comfortable is this unit right now being thrusted into any situation where needed?
I mean, we've seen a lot, which is good. We've played with two forwards, we've played with one, we've played with a front three, we play with four in midfield, we play with five. So I think that's good. I mean, you talk about a season is going to have a lot of different things that you face. It could be the weather, it could be the game, it could be the tactics, it could be personnel available. And in the last 18 months, you couple that with, COVID challenges and players missing for things like that. I mean, we talk about the strength of our team is going to be our team. How talented is our group of 34 players, and for different reasons and different times, we're going to need to call on guys. And we have players that have played in five, six different positions over the course of a season. We have a freshman in Mason Cruz played right back. He's played center mid. He's played out wide. I mean, those things are important, and I think as a team we're going to have to continue to be adaptable. I think even as you play two games in a weekend, you have to be able to manage that load. So we've played a lot of really good opponents, which is great. We're going to play two more this weekend, and I think for us the biggest focus is how do we continue to use our roster well? How do we continue to rotate guys when needed? And how do guys continue to be ready for the opportunities they have, and know that they can come into a game, know that they can start a game, and know that they can make a big impact. And the picture on the website of a guy that makes a big play could be different from week to week, but we know we got a lot of guys that can do that.
One player that's been missing for you is Victor DiGiorgio, who's been playing for his country in Malta. Uh, Talk about one, the opportunity that he had going to play for his country, and two, when he comes back, how how much did help your offensive unit?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a guy we're really excited about. He had a great first year. I think he, obviously had a good start to the season for us, scoring the game winner against Lynn and chipping in some really key moments through the next few games. And he's a guy we're going to rely on a lot. Ultimately as a forward to score goals, but in addition to that, to help the team get into those positions. And he's combative and can help our press. So we like that in our attacking players as well. And I think the experience is one, we were talking before we started. I mean, it's from a life experience. What a cool thing. In the last 4 or 5 months, he's gotten to play, in four games and two camps with the national team. And I think that's great as a soccer player in his development. I think that's only going to continue to help him. And I think he's going to bring a lot of confidence back when he gets back later this week. And, to even see him get on against Lithuania and help them get a goal back in the match, during these recent qualification games is great. So we're excited for him. He's got a big personality, and one that we're looking forward to being back with the group soon. And I think he's going to be a key part of our success down the stretch.
In your opinion, opportunities like this, does that, and you talk about development and growth of a player and coming and playing back for your national team, stuff like that, does that help your opportunities moving forward if you want to continue on to play at the next level?
For sure. I mean, I think he, the more and more he's involved in the national team, I think is a big resume builder. I think the more success he has, in different settings. Sometimes that's players in a summer league. Sometimes that's obviously at the collegiate level standing out. And sometimes that's going to be with national team situations. And I think that's important. I mean, he's fortunate where his background is one where he, grew up in Canada, but also has the citizenship in Malta. So his pathway to play professionally and get work permits and things like that is greater than someone else who may not have the same citizenship opportunity. So I think the more success he has in any platform, the better. The more eyes are going to be on him. And I know for him and for a lot of our guys, they want to continue to play as long as they can. And I think the resources we have here at Maryville are great for them to continue to develop and grow. And then obviously the opportunities not only that they have here, but they may have with with their youth clubs that they may have with their national team only continue to, create a bigger platform for them as they move forward.
In a recruiting, it doesn't help, it doesn't hurt either when you start, especially now with COVID and how restrictive everything has been. Recruiting has to be a nightmare compared to what it used to be, because now instead of maybe going out and seeing games during the week, now you're just watching films of games during the week.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only bonus is I can think back to being an assistant 8, 9 years ago, and it was hard to get game film. There wasn't the same technology. I mean, now you've got cameras, you don't even need a person to operate. So when we get a kid, we could watch 20, 30 games on them potentially, depending on how many times their club filmed it. Whereas before, you're begging a parent like, hey, next time you got a game, can you take a video camera and film it, and hoping it all worked out. So, I mean, the good news is the film is there, the quality's there, and so you can do a lot more analysis. Certainly, it's nice to see people in person, but I do think you can make a much better evaluation than you used to, and hopefully that's a good thing over time as things open up and become more available. You've got a really good blend. I mean, even for a local Missouri kid, we can watch their high school games at the moment if we don't get out to a game because those are mostly all recorded, whereas that wasn't an option a few years ago.
Coming up this weekend, you have Umsel, who you play on Friday afternoon, and then you get Lindenwood on Sunday. Uh, Two storied programs. Dan King has been a staple at Umsel forever. You know what to expect from his teams. Sunday, the game gets a little bit more physical. What's what the difference between the two teams and what to expect for the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, both Coach Hutter and King have been around a long time, and do a great job with their programs, and I think have a really good recruiting network not only here, but have done a good job of bringing in players. And we're excited. I mean, to play two teams that are your crosstown rivals is exciting. A lot of our players know each other. A lot of their players know our guys. So I mean, there's a lot on the line in terms of bragging rights. Certainly, as it relates to our goals, continuing to play and progress and be in a position come conference tournament, and to be in a position where nationally you're competing to be in an NCAA tournament. We have to keep getting results no matter who we play. So whether or not it's exciting to play a crosstown rival, we have the same obligation this Friday and Sunday as we've had every other week. We got to find a way to get wins. And so, how we prepare and perform is going to be really, really important. Certainly, there's challenges to each opponent. I think Umsel is always well organized. I think they're always, good on the attack, whether that's off of a counter, whether that's in the buildup, whether that's on restarts. They're a team that can score goals. For Lindenwood, they always play with an incredible intensity. They always have really talented individual players. And to get those two teams at home is nice. Hopefully, we utilize the fact that we're a little bit more familiar with our setting, our field, those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, we have to play well if we're going to want to earn a result. They're both capable opponents, and everybody's relatively close within the conference. So we're excited. This can be a really good opportunity for us to continue to separate ourselves and come away with 6 points. And it won't be easy, but we're really excited for the opportunity.
There's 3 weeks left in the season. You have 6 games left, and it seems like everybody within the conference is now jockeying for position to get into that top 8. Right now, you're sitting a point or two behind the top 2 schools, which are UIndy and McHenry right now. But you and I talked a little bit earlier, it seems like those teams haven't had an opportunity to play each other yet. So things get a little different as we get down the stretch here, because you get at the end of the season McHenry and UIndy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the idea is you want to continue to be in and around the top of the league, and then as you play those teams, hopefully you jump them and you're at the top of the standings. So, I mean, the biggest thing for us is you're right. We got 6 games left. I think if we add up the calendar days, that might be like 19 days, left that we're guaranteed. So we want to make a 20th day. We want to make another game, game 7 of being in the conference tournament. We want to win that one and have game 8, game 9. I mean, the goal now is how do we continue to add days to the season? So for us, that means this Friday, we've got to get a result so that we keep climbing the standings, we keep getting points, and keep putting ourselves in a position to add more days together as a family that we get to train and play games and put ourselves closer to our goals competitively. And so that, yeah, it's going to be exciting. We're excited to still play a lot of good teams. The first two being this weekend, and the first one being Umsel, and I think it's a really good opportunity for us.
Coach, I always appreciate a few minutes of your time and talking about the team, and we wish them nothing but the best of luck the rest of this season. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you prior to the final weekend of the season, and hopefully we're that much closer to the top of the table for the conference tournament.
I appreciate it, and thanks again for your time, John.
All right, David Korn, we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.